Warning. The Dragon Between podcast may contain language and adult humor that is unsuitable for those 13 years and younger. Viewer discretion is advised. You're listening to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that takes place in the Eberron pulp fantasy setting created by Keith Baker. New episodes are recorded every other Sunday and released on the following week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for clips and future episodes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and news on the podcast. Thank you for listening, and now on with the show. After filling your bellies, feeling yourselves a bit warmer, sweating profusely, getting the meat sweats from dinner, for those of you who partake in the eating of meat, you all found yourselves meandering upon the decks of the New Horizon. The book club, consisting of Zito and Auri, found themselves within one of the libraries, going over the various tomes on the shelf. And you've been looking for a few tomes for a while now that of particular interest, and one in particular strikes your interest, Zito. You see a book with a black binding, no markings on it. And as you pull the book out and begin to gaze at the cover, you can see embossed on the cover what appears to be a skull. And instinctively, your hand goes to open the cover of the book. And as you do so, the doors into the library open, and Ender and Eli just happen to wander in when there is a brilliant crimson light that fills the room.
Counterspell.
And all sound goes out. And is replaced with a new sound. The air is hot, and you all instantly are sweaty. You find yourselves standing calf deep in a marsh. You're not entirely certain exactly where you are. It takes you a moment to get your bearings. Sounds of strange insects buzzing in clouds around your heads. And as you begin to attempt to make some sense of your surroundings, one of you notices a hill off in the distance.
Like a marsh, and we see a hill coming out of the marsh.
Yes, through the
I
there's a bit of a mist. As you look around you, you see a bewildered Auri, your diminutive kobold friend Zito, and your wizard friend, still festooned in his glorious captain's hat.
Does this marsh look like the Shadow Marches?
It looks very familiar, but you're not entirely certain.
Guys, where are we? How did we get here? Did we already arrive? Was I drugged? Is this some kind of magic? What's going on? I have so many questions. Eli.
I think it's Eli. Eli has a habit of opening doors and finding everyone else in a strange situation.
Eli, what? Where did you?
I don't.
Where did you? Are you responsible for that?
I just walked in. I saw you guys reading the books. You guys touch a book that you weren't supposed to?
Did one of you keep that cube that sent us to that other realm or something, and it sent us somewhere else?
I really don't like being misplaced like this all the time.
Ender, as you continue to look around, gazing over towards the flat-topped hill, you can see that it's about 200 yards wide and about, best guess, 60 feet high.
It's drawing my attention, huh? I would
And
like to.
you see,
point.
it seems to be the only hill in this area. Around you, you see ruined trees, dead wood. You see ugly weeds and thorns and briars that seem to sprout up from the steep sides and the bald top of the mound. The mound itself at top is flat-topped, and you can just make out black rocks on the top of the hill.
I would like to use my I know how to travel through marsh. I would like to use my experience and kind of cut away right to the head.
Going towards the hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull up my.
Zia's gonna climb on top of Ari.
I'll lead the way, and I'll push towards the hill.
Okay. And what are you doing, Eli?
Can I get my soul sled out?
You go to reach for your bag, and it's gone.
Ooh. You're on the ground with the rest of us.
In fact, as each of you begin looking at your belongings, you see that you have the very basic belongings that you would normally set out. All of your magical items that you would use to fly and do amazing things seem to be missing. You basically you essentially have what you're wearing, and you have your weapons, and you have essentially an explorer's pack or a dungeoneer's pack.
So I don't have my decanter anymore.
You do not have your decanter, unfortunately.
So I still have my component pouch.
You do have your component pouch. You look at the pack. It looks like somebody else's pack. It doesn't look like your pack. Each of you, actually.
Good thing I'm wearing the robe.
Yes, true.
Oh, this is strange. This isn't my bag.
And
This isn't mine either.
as you look towards the mound, this flat-topped hill, you can just see that there are areas near you all seem to be facing like a slanted side, this 200-yard wide slanted side of the hill, and you can see that on the steep edges of the hill on either side it continues on for several hundred yards, potentially even more than that. And the hill itself is only about 60 feet high.
I'm pushing towards it.
Okay. Do the rest of you follow?
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow. Pretty upset that I don't have my flying.
Stay close.
Okay. You're fairly certain after getting your bearings on, based on your knowledge, if you were in fact in your homeland, Ender, you get a feeling that the way that the sun is positioned, you're currently pointed south, looking at the northern face of this hill. And you can see that the sun is getting low. Your best guesstimate, it's late afternoon right now. And the light is filtered from the copse of gnarled trees that grow up, the mangroves that grow up out of the swamp.
Let's get to the top of that clearing. Hopefully we'll find somewhere, some type of trail. I have no idea how we got here, but I see that the sun's going down, and if it gets dark, don't want to travel at night.
What, is it dangerous at night here?
It can be. There's a possibility.
So you are beelining it for the north face of this hill with the group following you, Ender?
Yes.
Takes a couple of minutes, but you're able to get to this, get through the marsh. You're all just hearing the sucking sounds of your legs, pulling them out of the swamp water and the marsh, the mud sucking your legs down back into it with each step, pulling on you and nearly yanking your boot off as you continue to trudge forward. And as you get close to the north side of this hill, you can see that it has a crumbling, but behind the briars and old ugly weeds and thorns that grow up the steep sides on what you can assume is the western and the eastern sides of this hill, you can see the entire north side is covered in this crumbling cliff of sand and gravel that's about 20 feet high in the middle of the whole of this northern side of the hill. And you can see what looks like some sort of stone ledge that overhangs in this area.
I'll walk towards the stone ledge.
Okay. Well, it's the stone ledge is sticking out of the about 20 feet up. It's sticking out of the edge, the north face of the hill.
Oh, I get it.
So like it looks like possibly maybe this is part of an archway, and the sand and dirt and gravel is possibly part of a cave-in of some sort.
I'm gonna search the area.
Okay. Are you making just a general search, perception, or are you investigating?
I guess I can investigate.
Okay. What are you investigating?
The archway and the rubble.
Go for it. And while he's doing that, what are the rest of you doing?
Can I help him?
Sure. You can help him. If you help him, then you can give him advantage on his investigation.
I'm not the best at this.
I'm gonna kind of just pose myself as a lookout, just trying to make sure nothing's like coming towards us that looks like it'll attack.
Okay.
I've been like, Ender, I read this like in a book, the arches are so curved, right? It looks really kind of like an ancient civilization, maybe. Interesting. Just hear him talk on.
Ender buys everything Eli's saying because he really needed the help.
Does Zito have that book that he pulled off the shelf?
I'm sorry?
Does Zito still have that book that he pulled off the shelf?
You do not have the book. However, upon studying the back of your hand, Zito, you notice that you have a tattoo that you didn't have there once before.
Is it a badass penguin on a surfboard?
No, it is a stylized skull.
How'd that get there?
Look at where?
Zito's gonna flex his hand.
And as Auri gesticulates towards you with her hand, you catch a glimpse of the back of her left hand, and she also has a skull tattoo.
I notice this and I look at my hand.
You also have a skull tattoo on your hand.
Do we still look like ourselves? We just have these tattoos and different gear?
Correct. Well, you still have the items you were wearing when you walked into the room. You just don't have the packs that you normally carry. You're carrying strange traveling gear. Which is why Eli is still wearing his very dapper-looking captain's outfit. And is absolutely ruining his boots in the mud.
My boots, they're so new. I paid a lot of gold. Guy, a lot of gold.
And yes, Eli, to answer your question, you also have a tattoo of a skull on the back of your hand.
Yeah, but whose tattoo is cooler? You could say Ender's, probably.
They actually all look like the skulls, of your species. So there's a kobold skull on Zito's hand. There are half-elven skulls on Eli and Alri's, and there is the skull of a half-orc on your hand.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, I don't know about you, but it's kind of dark and getting late. You guys want to bed down for the evening?
Here in the mud?
Did I find anything when I investigated that archway?
Yes. You notice that as the sand and gravel, as you got closer to it and attempted to get closer to that ledge, the sand and gravel began to fall away, and you can see that it began to reveal some sort of a tunnel beyond.
Oh, as Eli brings up camping out for a while, I instead suggest we should instead go down here. And I move away some of the rubble, and I start climbing down on my own.
Okay. It'll take you about an hour to thoroughly clear the passage beyond. But
I'll ask for some help.
However, you could...
The weak wizard, the weak kobold, or the weak druid. Damn it!
Based on your investigation, Ender, you're fairly certain that you could make a 10-foot wide crawl space to get through and go into it.
Zito's gonna cast Mold Earth.
Okay.
Hold up. Anna has a plan. It's stone, yeah.
And you're trying to get through it?
Yeah. Do you have a spell for this?
Yeah, I do. I have shape stone. Touch a stone object of medium size or smaller, or a section of the stone no more than 5 feet in any dimension, and form it into any shape that suits your purpose. For example, you can use it to make a passage through the wall as long as it is less than 5 feet thick. So,
will that help?
I don't know if it works.
Well, unfortunately, what you're attempting to do that through is a mixture of gravel and sand.
Okay, so no, I cannot do that.
Yeah. However, I believe Zito said he wanted to use his Move Earth ability.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did not hear that. Sorry, Zito.
Just let me read it real quick. So you choose a portion of dirt or stone that you can see within range, a 5-foot cube. You can manipulate it in the following ways. And I'm going to excavate it.
You're going to excavate it? How long does it take?
1 action.
So 6 seconds, basically. And how much can you manipulate at once?
A 5-foot cube.
Okay. You go to manipulate your 5-foot cube, and it begins to open up a 5-foot crawl space. Not quite enough from what Ender was able to ascertain that within about 10 minutes, he could dig out about a 10-foot wide crawl space to go in.
Well, I thought I'd have to move all that on my own.
It appears Zito is able to clear nearly, take up at least about 5 minutes of time it would have taken to excavate with your bare hands, Ender.
And it's a cantrip so Zito can keep casting it.
Okay. It takes you a little bit of time because the sand and gravel keeps like filling in that negative space that you keep creating. But eventually the sand and gravel begins to deteriorate and it reveals a tunnel. Now, at this point, you can see that there is no light source ahead of you. So let me take a look here. It looks like everyone has dark vision.
Convenient.
Awesome. So you just see that this tunnel stretches forth in front of you. It's a long tunnel, a long corridor. It opens up into what appears to be... Let me just move a map for y'all. Approximately a 25-foot wide corridor. It just continues on. And you can see the bits of briar and old weeds that seem to have crept along the very beginnings of this tunnel leading into it. But then nothing. Beyond that, you can just see crisscrosses of what you can assume is cobwebs. And you can see that there are... The very beginning of it, you can see that beyond the scattering of sand and gravel, there's some sort of tile work. This stone tile work on the corridor, which stretches on. The beginning of which you can see a few of the tiles are in... Most of the tiles are in a mosaic of different colors. But a few of them seem to be in some sort of a more of a burnt umber or reddish colored bit, which stretches on and continues on into the corridor. And the path of tiles
I'll lead the way.
appears to be about
Start going down.
2 feet wide and snake its way south down the corridor. But because you don't have a light source, all you see is this long tunnel. And you can see a mosaic just to your right. You can just make out what it looks like a chest sticking out of the wall. And you can see that there's absolutely no stonework seen on the walls or the ceiling above. There's some sort of a plaster or potentially a cement-like substance which has been smoothed over, and then someone has gone out of their way to illustrate over this plaster. And I will share an image with you.
Well, guys, it might be a good time to head out.
No, we're fine.
I'm gonna look at Adam's. Mine is again broken.
My mic's not working?
No. My picture's
Oh,
broken.
your picture's broken?
Is your
Really?
picture
Let me see.
picture broken?
It's super broken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while for the image to load up because
It's
a red
glitched,
X would
though.
appear.
It looks like it's
Yeah.
a big graphical issue.
Yeah, it's got to be her connection to the server. It's a glitch. It's a bug. No worries.
Yeah.
I will be as descriptive as I possibly can be.
I can look over at
Yeah, she can look at mine.
Sure.
Just don't look at my character sheet, babe.
Zito
I
is
just
gonna
got a ride,
pull
by
out
the way. I got a ride tomorrow, thank God.
Zito's gonna pull out a torch and he's gonna light it.
Okay. So as Zito pulls out a torch and illuminates the corridor, you can now see bright, brilliant colors everywhere. All the stones and the pigments that have not been dimmed at all by the passage of clearly many years since this tunnel was accessed. And you can see that the floor is a very colorful mosaic, minus that winding path of red tiles. It's about 2 feet wide that seems to snake its way south away from the northern face of this wall where this corridor begins. And looking around, you can see that there are scenes painted on the walls. You can see fields of various creatures grazing. You can see an illustration of a copse of trees with wolves in the background. And you can also see what appear to be pictographs of workers of various creeds and races, and strange human-animal mixtures, pig human, ape human, dog human, going about various tasks. And you can also see more frescoes that show rooms of a building, a library filled with many books and scrolls. And on the right side of the wall, or what would be the western wall, you see just beyond the chest, which is sticking out of the wall, you can see some sort of a torture chamber. And it looks like someone has painted hands gripping the bars.
Interesting.
I got a bad feeling about this place.
Yeah, why don't we, torture chamber? We're better off in the mud.
No, we should venture deeper in. We have these tattoos on our hand. I think we're meant to find this place. I'm sure none of us have good feelings about this place. It's just as dangerous out there as it is in here. Probably.
Not sure. I don't have good feelings about any place.
I don't have a good feeling about this tattoo on my skin. I've never...
Eli, do you have any tattoo removal spells?
Well, I can cast Detect Magic, but it's going to take me 10 minutes.
Yeah, maybe it's temporary. Maybe it's not real. I'm going to try and, wipe it on my cloak and see if I can, get it off.
And, Zito, you can see that your torch illuminates. You can just see that the corridor continues on for many, many feet, and that winding 2-foot wide pathway of red tiles continues to snake down the hall towards the very end. And you can just make out in the distance what appears to be some sort of a stone relief that appears to fill the entire, potentially the end of this tunnel section. But you can't quite make it out. From this distance, all you can see is just shadows and shapes.
Zito is going to walk over to that shape that he saw. So
Okay.
the box.
The box, which is over to the right of the wall, the western wall, it's sticking out. It's exactly what you see
close
in that image. And I will, let's see. Yeah, it's about, from where you're all standing now, it looks like it's a 5, 10, 15, 20. It's about 25 feet away from where you are all standing now. And I will share a map with you all. Get ready for that Technicolor goodness.
I can actually see it.
Hooray!
It's a holographic map.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So yeah, about 25 feet in.
And we came in from where Eli is standing?
Yeah, basically I just threw you guys on the map because I only had so much to work with on as far as a map was concerned.
So you're saying you half-assed this. Well, thanks, Jeremy.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think Ender is definitely not going to walk down that hallway first.
Okay.
He has learned his lesson.
So
I'm going to warn my comrades, though. I'm going to say, careful for traps.
So you see,
And I'm going to,
you see two jackal-headed human figures have been painted to appear as if they're holding a bronze chest that protrudes from the wall.
Zito's going to try and open it.
Okay. It's just high enough that with a boost from one of your companions you could reach.
Ender.
Sorry,
Ender, can you give me a boost?
I'll give him a boost. I have a passive perception of 19. If I see any traps, I'm going to immediately bawl like a baby.
That's it, just cry.
Don't worry, Ender will have company. Zito is going to open up the chest.
Okay.
Can we first investigate it for traps?
If you like.
Yes. I would love to. I know deep in Jeremy's dark, cold heart, he wants to attack us with traps in this with this brand new Unity engine. Okay, guys, we gotta be tough.
Yeah, we gotta be totally careful.
I'm gonna stop the kobold and say no, careful, and I'm gonna investigate it. If you allow me to.
Go ahead.
Well, maybe you should, kobold.
Well, somebody needs to roll an investigation.
All I know is I don't
I'll
want Eli
investigate the
going near
chest.
it.
You'll investigate?
We've had
Go
bad
ahead.
experiences in the past with Eli opening chests.
Yeah, I don't do that thing anymore.
That'll be a 13.
13? Okay. You get the feeling after examining it for a little while that it looks like it's hinged on the bottom, as if the lid swings down if the catch on the top is pressed.
Can I see where that hinge leads to?
It
Because
leads-
they're like a... Go ahead.
And you see that the catch has some sort of a needle sticking out of the top of it.
Is there a way to disarm this trap?
Make an intelligence check.
I step back.
You're fairly certain that someone with the thieves' tools could potentially disable it.
Hey, I used to have tools, so I still have these tools.
I don't know, do you?
I don't know, let me double check my pack.
I'm going to tell Zito I do not have any thieves' tools.
Yep, I had thieves' tools, don't worry. I'm gonna try and disarm this hinge.
Okay.
I'm going to investigate down the hall. Do I see any other traps?
Make a dexterity check with your thieves' tools. Ender, you want to continue down the hall?
No, I don't want to continue. I just want to investigate.
Okay.
While
you
he's
can make
looking for it through his pack.
you can make an investigation check.
Can I said use my passive perception?
Well, your passive perception just allows you to
Yeah,
notice
that's-
things. You still have to roll perception if you're actively looking for something.
So what did you say, dexterity?
It is a dexterity check with your thieves' tools, Lito. So if you're proficient with thieves' tools, then you get to add your bonus.
So just roll dexterity, or I don't have to click on the thieves' tools?
If you have these tools already built into your character sheet.
Yeah, I don't know how to do any of that programming stuff.
Well, it just means that you would add your proficiency bonus to your roll, your dexterity roll. So make a dexterity check and add your proficiency bonus. Okay. You're able to
That'll be a 20.
Yeah, I saw it. You're able to very, very easily disable this needle and press the catch. And when you do, the bottom of this chest, which is protruding from the wall, opens like a jaw opening.
Weird.
And Ender, you can see ahead of you, not too far out, you can see in various places where the tile work has been laid, you can see tiny little gaps in between sections of some of the tile work. about 10 feet in front of you.
I'm gonna call up Eli. Eli,
Yes.
see down there?
Oh, I can see it from here. Yes.
Zito, as you're looking, you see that when the bottom of the chest opened, it revealed a cavity inside of it. And it's pitch black, obviously.
What kind of... I put my torch through it and see if I can see anything.
Okay. You see nothing. It appears to be empty.
Can I get a good look at those tiles?
Sure. If you like.
I'll move up to where Ender is and I'll look at the tiles and see if I notice anything suspicious.
You can make an investigation check.
$27.
27.
Jesus.
Did you want to do anything else with that chest, Zito?
Nope. I think I'm good.
Okay. What are you doing, Auri?
I'm kind of fascinated with the mark on my hands, and I'm trying to look at it and see if like anything comes to mind. Like, have I ever read anything that like would, or seen a picture of this thing before?
Make a history check. Actually, no. Make an arcana check.
Oh wow, that thing shot across the room.
You're fairly certain that magic has been used to leave marks on individuals as, for many different reasons, people have been marked by magic before. You haven't heard of this exact iconography before being used, but usually it means that you are marked for some reason by something or someone.
You guys, I feel like we've been marked for something with these tattoos. None of you have ever seen this symbol before, for sure?
A symbol of a half-orc skull? Yeah, I've seen drawings. But never, like, on my hand or on a hand.
Eli,
Perhaps.
you noticed, excuse me for a second, before you go trouncing down the hallway, I need to address the 27 that Eli rolled. Eli, you notice that staring at the 2-foot wide path of red tiles, there appear to be some sort of rune that seems to be carved into these tiles. And as you continue to look, as it snakes its way down the corridor, you can see that the runes continue on. You don't understand what they mean, though. And Zito, as you continue on down the path, when you get to the part where you are currently, you notice... In 1 second. As you get to a section where they're just beyond where that chest was, you can see a door painted on the wall that looks like a prison door with hands gripping bars. And as you begin to walk towards it, the floor suddenly gives from under you, and you fall through a pit. And you fall into a pit.
I cast Featherfall.
You cast Featherfall?
Yes,
Is that a reaction?
it is a reaction.
Okay. You're slowly falling down into this pit.
I want
You
to
just-
grab
you
onto
just-
the edge.
You just watch as suddenly the floor is out behind from under you. You did not. It wasn't a Wile E. Coyote cartoon, Zito. You fell a bit before you could use your reaction. So you're with your stature, your head and neck is just above the floor now from the drop. So you're starting to fall. At this point, I need all of you to roll initiative. Okay. So Zito, you've cast Featherfall on yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I can't see. I just have a question mark.
I just see a question mark too.
Okay, hopefully that's an okay thing.
There we go.
What's the token on Zito?
That would be the pit.
Okay. I don't see a token, I see this.
It's a trap!
It's a trap.
Oh, people actually have pictures on their screen. Everybody's just a green block on mine.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's okay. If I hover over them, you can see their name.
So Auri, on your turn, you turn around, you hear the sound of crashing some sort of mechanism. And as you turn and look towards the sound, you see your diminutive friend disappear from sight, falling downwards, seemingly into a pit of some sort.
Okay. I'm gonna move to above the pit. Am I able to like reach down for him, or?
He's not falling completely, so you could totally use your action to grab him and pull him up.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna try to do.
Okay. As you get to the edge of the pit, you can see that just his head and neck is just above the floor. It looks like he's getting ready to reach up anyway to grab the edge to find purchase and pull himself up.
Okay, so I'll grab his arm that was trying to grab up at the wall, and I'll pull him back up and get him standing up next to him.
He is lighter than air. You're able to grab him and pull him up, and he just sort of floats upward into your arms as he's now sort of hovering, and then begins to slowly land, and you're all out of initiative.
I put him down real gently too, because as I was picking him up out of there, I remember him telling me he doesn't like to be held, and I like put him down like real fast, but gently. I'm like, sorry.
Thank you, Ari. Zito's gonna hold on to your leg for a moment as he slowly comes to terms that he's not falling anymore.
See, Kobold, I told you traps. Do you not remember when we met?
What do you mean when we met? It's pretty much the same situation. I don't think there were any traps though.
Andrew fell right into one.
There were. You don't remember? I remember. I'm traumatized.
And what are you doing, Eli?
I'd say he's more than traumatized. I would like to look and see if I notice any more interesting tiles that look like they have, fall into a pit.
Well, it looks like that 2-foot wide path, some of it has fallen away from the doors that fell open and nearly dropped Zito down into a pit. And you can see that just beyond that 2-foot wide path continues to snake along. I would say, Zito, that you dropped your torch into the pit. And if you all look over the edge, you can see that it appears to be about 30 feet deep and absolutely lined with spikes.
Well, I'm really glad you didn't fall all the way into that. You're
Yeah,
really
me
fast
too.
with that feather fall. That was pretty impressive.
I had plenty of practice. Alright, I found one pit. Who's next?
Yeah, I guess we should probably be pretty cautious going forward.
Yeah, I agree. Ender, you want to lead the way?
I lead the way, but
Yeah,
Eli, I need those eyes of yours.
Zito is going to give Ender a rope.
Okay.
What am I?
Are
Am
you,
I expecting you guys to
tied?
somehow
Are you
hold me
tied
up?
to him? Did you wrap it around your neck like he's walking you, taking you out for a walk?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking my half-orc for a walk.
Okay.
I hope someone else can take the other end of the rope.
As
'cause
Ender,
I'm-
as Ender and Auri step forth, the pathway directly beneath them suddenly breaks open, and Ender falls into the pit. And Auri, I would say you'd be falling with him, since it looked like you were leaping forth. So as you both are creeping down cautiously, and not minding what you observed before, Ender, looking down at the floor, you notice too late as it splits open, and the same sight that you saw before of Zito falling, you can now see yourself. As you glance over to your left, you see Auri falling with you down into this pit.
Zito's going to cast Feather Fall again.
On both of them?
Yes.
Okay. I would say that they're about midsection now, slowly floating down into the pit.
I really hate this place.
So let's roll initiative again. Somebody rolled a natural 20 on their initiative. Alright, Ender, what would you like to do? You are about waist high on the floor now. Your feet are dangling below you, and you can see the same sight that you saw, although it's much darker now. You can just make out the spikes at the bottom of this pit, which also seems to be 30 feet deep.
How would I spend my turn if I wanted to grab Ari by the hand and grab the side of the ledge?
I would say that you would have to use your action to pull yourself up out of the pit.
I'll use my action to pull myself out of the pit.
Okay, you can put yourself anywhere you'd like on the map, which isn't a pit.
He pulls himself out just to fall into it.
Is that all you wish to do on your turn, Ender? Is hide underneath Zito?
If I can't help Ari, then yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Eli, it's your turn.
You still have the rope.
Eli will reach out and try to grab Ari.
Okay. You can very easily reach out and grab her. Make a strength check.
Oh. Yeah, 13.
She is nearly lighter than air. You're able to very easily lift her up and pull her towards you. And you're both now standing in front of the pit.
She does want to give Ender the look. It's like I told you, look out for traps.
And now you are
Yar.
out of initiative once again.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, maybe you were right. Maybe sleeping in the mud out there is a lot better than being in here.
Yep, and it's decided, guys. We're just going to leave.
Full disclosure, these things that I'm throwing on the map, I am painting real time onto the map.
I don't see anything on the map.
You don't see anything on the map?
No.
Really? That's a shame.
Are you talking about
Actually,
those pits?
Yeah, I would say the boxes.
Yeah, the boxes.
I don't see anything.
They're just X's to me.
Yeah, that's
I don't
all.
even
That's
see
all it
X's.
is.
They're
Yeah,
just
that's all it is.
blank for for me. So yeah, I can't tell where these pits are.
Oh,
That's my map.
Yep, mine too. See, you and I both had it for a little bit in the beginning because you took that screenshot before. I had it then too, but then they were both. And now there's nothing.
that's weird.
I'm not. Did I walk onto an X? Is that why you threw me in a pit?
Yes, you walked onto a pit. Correct. Both you and Auri.
Oh boy.
Okay, guys. So there's a glitch in my fantasy grounds. So that might have looked stupid, but we're both really smart still, character-wise. Like Ender, I'm Ender. This is Ari. We're just little glitchy, new software.
Hey, you can take another step forward.
I don't trust anyone. You
Eli,
can take another step forward.
Eli, you can see that the pathway continues on. That red tile pathway continues on to snake on, and you can still see, with the illumination of Zito's torch, unless he didn't produce another torch. If none of you produced a torch, you wouldn't be able to see the details of the runes, but you could still just barely make out the dim light from the swamp outside, which is, at this point, getting this much further into the corridor, it's getting more difficult to make out color and detail, but with your dark vision, you're still able to make out this dark line that snakes down the corridor.
So what's the plan? We pressing on?
I can't get back into the room. I'm gonna reload. The plan is, Eli, you lead the way, since you can see the X's.
I really just only see the trap that you set off. I'm not that very, perceptive per se. Go ahead, Ender. You're really good at this.
Anyway, I got an idea. Zito's gonna tie the rope that he gave to Ender to his pack.
Okay.
And he's just gonna throw the pack on the ground.
Okay. Where would you like to throw it? You can indicate on the map by drawing a circle where you'd like to throw your pack. Okay. Nothing happens.
Alright, he's gonna pick it up, and he's gonna drop it 5 feet forward.
Okay.
To
Nothing.
there.
And you can see at one time there must have been just an amazing, spider party. Like, the walls and the ceiling are absolutely draped with cobwebs. Like sheets of cobwebs. And that mosaic, those paintings of strange humanoid creatures, continue along the wall on these frescoes that fill the eastern and western wall.
I'm still loading
I'm
in.
trying to move my token.
It's
Trying to
probably
move your
because
token?
I'm loading in.
So not letting you move your token?
I just keep drawing on my token.
Yeah, just click out from the draw mode. There you go.
Alright, so I got to there.
Okay.
And nothing happened?
Nothing happened. You threw your pack on the ground a little bit, like you're fishing, and each time you just see a poof of dust.
Alright, Zito's gonna try one more time.
Okay. Throwing it out immediately in front of you where you are now. Again, nothing.
We're about to the side.
Nothing. You're still your pack now is absolutely covered in dirt and grime from the floor.
It's not my pack.
What are the rest of you doing while Zito is carefully plodding forth?
Watching him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be casting light down that way for him with the torch.
Okay.
What's the name of the map that we're on?
I can share it again. There we go.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Now I see the X's.
What? Rude.
Alright, you have 2 X's out?
Yes, those are open pits. Those pits stayed open. The doors did not retract.
I see.
And you've been watching your kobold companion carefully fishing with his pack. Zito, when you toss your pack, the weight of it makes the floor give a little, and then suddenly the floor splits, just like it did before.
Try to grab my bag before it falls in.
Oh, well,
That's what the rope is for.
attached to a rope, isn't it?
Yep. I wanted to make sure it didn't fall down too far without grabbing them.
Ah. And you watch as once again you hear the sound of the doors clanging, and as they split open, revealing yet another pit. Whoops. There we go.
Nope.
There we go. I don't know why it was doing something weird.
Oh, see, I just moved my big monitor so I can see him on Adam's screen.
Ah.
I'm reloading in, so maybe it'll fix.
I think I actually erased your token, Jeremy, so I drew in another circle.
Oh, really? Because it's on my screen.
I must have deleted it on my own.
Oh, okay. That's weird. It doesn't delete them on my screen when you delete them.
You can erase it.
Ah, okay.
Oh, and I just closed the window. Whoops. Can you reshare that with me?
That's called map. 3 players.
It's in the map folder if you want to pull it. Every time I try to share it and reshare it, it causes the server to nearly crash.
Ooh, I can see everything now, except for your guys' pictures. But that's fine.
You're not missing much.
Wait, they look
What is it?
in.
Map 3
I
players?
see everything.
Yep. I also added a circle to give you guys an idea of what the illumination looks like right now. And since Auri is producing light, there's a circle on your face. And you can see that pathway still continues to snake, and you can just make out that it appears to terminate at a wall. And there's a large stone statue that's protruding from the wall at the end of the corridor, and it looks like a giant face. And you can see that pathway seems to branch, one going straight towards the face, the other one turning towards the eastern wall into what appears to be some sort of archway. And if Fantasy Grounds, I have a feeling this might be the end, guys, because it's not responding anymore.
Oh. Well. Dang.
All right. Well, on that note, Ender's going to use the
Oh wait,
theater of the mind.
oh, here we go. Oh, it's working. I'm not sure why it did that. That is weird. Okay. Now it's letting you guys move. So yes, you can see that there is some sort of a sculpture of a devil face. And now everyone's moving themselves around. Ender, you just fell through like 2 more trapdoors.
Don't tell me. Don't tell. I was kidding. It's not like it was. It wasn't like, you know, my middle school dance recital. Okay, I didn't actually go out there and do that.
Ender went from having a really like old man kind of gross looking picture to being kind of hot now.
Yeah, I've gone through some shit. Had some plastic surgery.
At the
Started
end,
thinking about girls.
at the end of the pathway on the eastern wall, you see a stone archway that appears to be filled with some sort of vapor. And stones on either side of the base and the keystone of the archway protrude out slightly. And other than the archway on the eastern wall and the mosaic sculpture of the devil face formed out of tiles, there do not appear to be any other features at the end of this corridor.
Zito is going to continue to slowly make his way down to the end of the corridor.
Okay, using your fishing trick?
Yes.
Okay, I will say, to save on some time for you guys, I will just go ahead and reveal what you find by repeating your little trick over and over again.
Aren't you so glad we have Zito? He's so inventive.
Well, I figured after you guys, started falling
He's not
into...
that great.
I figured that when you guys started, falling into traps, you wouldn't want to mess with that anymore.
Nah, we wouldn't. Unless Ender wants to go first.
I thought it was good practice to just just deal with the trap. I'm doing better.
So
He's trying to go into the trap so he can beat the trap up. He still has a vendetta against them.
I hate every trap.
I have indicated on the map where 2 more 30-foot deep traps that terminate in spikes. And you can see that some of them seem to match up with that crisscross of red tiles.
Oh, you sneaky little The red path is the bad path. Dude.
And yeah. So what are you guys doing now?
Well, we're going to navigate the hall
Okay.
safely. We're going to not just look at the floor and for traps. We're also going to we also know there's cobwebs in the ceiling, so I am also staying alert from my entire surrounding. Do not surprise attack me with spiders, please.
Surprisingly very quiet. Bone-chillingly quiet in this place.
Dang it, Jeremy. Quiet is not good, is it?
And
Quiet's never good.
If you look back at Eli, every so often you see him staring at the ground, at that 2-foot wide snaking series of red tiles.
Is there something wrong with the tiles, Eli?
Well, I was trying to figure it out. I think the red tiles mean bad, but there's some ruins that I don't understand.
The ruin.
So, should we stick to the yellow bricks?
It looks like it. If I look back at all these pits that opened up, they're on the red bricks.
Wise.
At
Alright,
least-
guys.
At
stay
least,
close
at
to me.
least
Let's
3 of them,
proceed.
apparently.
I don't know how much time we have left with Fantasy Ground being functional, so everyone stick together. Let's move forward. We would like to move forward together,
Okay.
though.
Where would you like to go? You can
To
see
south.
that the corridor ends at this large relief, this sculpture of a devil face made
Are there
out
any
of
rooms
tiles.
to our left or right?
I'm sorry?
Are there any rooms to the left or right?
All you see is that continued pathway of like cement. That cement or plaster which is covered the walls and someone has illustrated on them. And as you get down to the end of the hall now, with your light source, Auri, you can see that the face of the devil sculpture has a large O of a mouth, inside of which the space is completely pitch black. And looking over towards the left, as you look over towards the archway, you can now clearly see this mist-like vapor that fills the entire archway along the eastern wall.
Well, these statues certainly aren't pretty, are they?
And Eli, did you go to
Nope.
completely to the end of the that red line?
The red line? No.
You didn't?
I'm all the way
Of
over
course
here.
not. Absolutely not.
When you said open mouth, I'm having flashbacks of, I don't know why, but I'm remembering something from an older kid. My dad, maybe my uncle. Let's leave right now.
Eli, as you glance at the runes, you've been following them as you've been walking down this pathway. You see now that the runes are now in common.
What do they say,
And-
Eli?
And you're now remembering with your eidetic memory the entire inscription from the beginning of the corridor to the end of the corridor. Would you like me to tell you what it says?
Yes, privately.
Privately? Sure.
Yeah.
Why do you want to not share it with us, Eli?
He's thinking.
I will share it with you privately, sir.
He's thinking, I'm not going to be the bait.
There you go.
Ooh.
And that is what you remember is inscribed in the floor. Do either of you step closer to the archway at all? Filled with the mist.
Is he just slowly making his way over there?
Okay. If you get within like touching distance of the archway, the left hand base stone begins to glow yellow. The right hand base stone is glowing orange, and the keystone at the base of the arch, the top, 7 feet above, you can see it's glowing blue.
Alright. Zito is going to clear a spot on the ground and have a seat because he just threw his backpack on the ground like 40 times and he needs a break.
And you all staring at the relief sculpture formed of these mosaic tiles.
Well, Eli, you're a smart wizard. What does this mean?
Yeah, we're gonna die if we keep going. I think it's time to turn around.
And the moment that Eli says that, the mouth to the cave suddenly closes.
Oh, well, good thing I have...
and blocks out the light.
I ready my sword and I
The
look around.
only light source you have now is Auri's light source, which is unfortunately is messing with your dark vision. And you can all now hear eerie whispers that are echoing off of the walls of this place. It's strange. They seem to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You're not sure if you're hearing them with your ears or if you're hearing them in your mind.
Zito's gonna climb into a sack, and he's just gonna live there now.
Okay.
You know what? Ender's just gonna take a look at that and also try to crawl into the pack and live. Same.
Eli's gonna look around and start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who wants to die today?
Die?
Is that
There's room for
is
one
that even
more.
an option? Look at us, we're immortal.
So, I only can take 2 of you.
How do we open the door ahead of us? Is it a gate?
Well, what you see ahead of you, like immediately to the south, the corridor, is a relief sculpture of a devil face that's formed of those mosaic tiles on the floor. And the face has a huge 3-foot wide O of a mouth. And Auri's light spell, even though it is bright and shining against the wall and against this sculpture, it is not illuminating this opening where the mouth is. It's pitch black. And of course, to the eastern wall, you see the archway of mist. This strange capstones, the left and the right, and the very top of the archway, which, when Zito approached, began to glow different colors. And this voluminous mist, this vapor, continues to undulate. It doesn't come out towards any of you. It just seems to fill the entire section, blocking your view from whatever is beyond.
Is this mist dangerous?
You're not sure?
I'm asking my party. I have no way of knowing.
Let's have Eli take a look at it.
I mean, I can look at it. Have I ever heard about any of this?
Make an Arcana check. Or what are you checking first?
The mist. Have I read about this?
Make an Arcana check.
13.
13. You're fairly certain that this is some sort of mist that seems to be obscuring. You've never encountered something like this before, Eli. This is old magic.
Which direction is this door? Is it south or is it directly to our left?
It's directly to your left. It's along that eastern wall.
I'm gonna put my hand into the mist.
Okay. When
Do
you
I feel
you put your hand
in and out
beyond,
quickly.
you
in and out.
feel nothing. Nothing at all. Your hand comes out perfectly fine.
We go forward, and I take a step through.
Okay. I will whisper to you what you see.
This reminds me of a game I've been playing. It's called Void Spire Tactics, and there's a scene that there's this long hallway, right? And there's all these zombies and shit, and you have to avoid their eyesight, otherwise you have to fight them, and it's so fucking tough.
That is what you see, Ender. You turn and look around. That's all you see.
It's inside that room? Inside
you,
that archway?
You don't see, as you turn and look around, you no longer see the archway. Or the mist. All you see with your dark vision is what I just typed to you. And let me share another map. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
That was a
No,
very,
but you laughed
very
out loud.
evil
Yes.
DM laugh, yeah.
She wants us to go through the damn fucking door, guys. I had to go through the door. No one else is gonna go through the door. I had to go through the door. I sat there quietly
There
for
you
like
go.
a good couple.
That's what.
Yep, and you enjoying the door? I think it's time to go, guys. I think we made our decision. The odd one out. Everyone gather up. Dimension door.
Gather up.
What are you talking
Alright.
about? Ender just walked through the door.
I'm gonna look around for clues. Do I understand what levers to pull?
Where did he go? Can you use that spell to talk to him?
You get a sense, Ender, that these can be moved horizontally or vertically, singly or in any combination.
I point towards where I saw him go through. Cast message. Ender, what do you see?
You point towards that area.
Yeah.
No response.
Alright.
What about his ring? Does he have that ring on him?
Ender, you are all alone at the bottom of this cubicle.
Ender is going to test the first lever right in the middle. And he's gonna instead of pulling it down, instead of pulling it left, instead of pulling it right, he's gonna pull it up.
Okay. You hear the sound of it, and nothing happens.
Then I'm gonna pull the
Before you
lever on
continue to pull with the levers,
Okay.
let's go back to your friends and find out what they're doing.
Okay.
What are you doing,
I'm so
Zito?
safe I'm inside of a cubicle. You guys are fucked.
Vito's trying to.
Are you still in your
call
bag?
Eberron. I'm still in my bag.
Okay. So you're just laying in your bag. Eli and Auri, as you turn and look, you see the pack that was a human-sized humanoid size that Zito was holding. He's now, you just see the top of his head poking out of the top of the pack as he is inside of it like a rucksack. Looks like he's getting ready to do a potato sack race.
now, Zito.
Yeah, he's trying to call Ender through his ring of sending.
Funny thing, your ring ascending is not on your hand anymore.
Oh,
Ender's going to talk to his party in Discord chat real quick. Hey guys, what do I do?
Auri,
I'm not the smartest guy.
Auri, you watched your companion go Ender pass through the archway, and he hasn't come back through. Other than the archway and the darkness beyond the dim light of your spell, those whispers that continue to fill your head maddeningly. All you ever see is that horrible-looking devil face with the 3-foot diameter mouth staring at you. Its hollow eyes.
Well, I'm gonna yell into the archway. Ender! Ender!
Do I hear?
You hear nothing.
Because I'm all alone in the dark, little depressing cubicle. I get it. It's just like an Uber ride.
It's fitting.
Well, should we go in?
Well, if you want to know, if we go in, we can't turn back. So, what do you think?
Auri, you suddenly feel as though someone touched you on your shoulder.
Alright, I'm gonna look behind me. I'm
As
trying to
you-
look around and see if there's...
As you look behind you on the wall in front of you, you see the dark cloaked, black leather clad individual from your nightmare vision in the mirror, painted on the wall. Its hand outstretched towards you. Its face obscured.
Could have been your mother, you know?
I'm running away from it.
You are now hearing a voice, Auri, coming from the 3-foot wide hole. And I will whisper to you what it says.
I'm gonna hand my torch to Eli, and then I just kind of... We have to help them.
Help who?
We have to.
Oh, who are you talking? Wait, don't go, don't. Wait.
And what are you doing, Auri?
I'm gonna walk towards the portal. Actually, I'm gonna hand a piece of paper to Zito before I go through.
Okay.
Here, I'll tell you.
Zito's going to reach out from his sack and take the piece of paper.
You're going through
And
the mist portal, or you're...
No, left one.
Wherever it's said help me.
Oh,
wherever
it's
that
coming. It was coming from the mouth of that statue, or that relief, that sculpture.
Oh.
Okay, then I guess I'm not going in. I'm just coming closer to it then.
Okay.
Because I don't think you can go into that. It's...
You get closer, your light source, all you see is pitch black. But that sound continues to echo, and just the statement continues to repeat in your head.
Do you guys not hear it?
What is it saying?
It's asking me to help.
Oh, okay.
I don't hear anything. Do I hear it?
You don't hear anything except for the whispers that all of you hear. That nondescript, indistinct whispers. And before we act further in this corridor, let's go back to Ender. What are you doing, Ender?
Hitting more levers.
You hit more levers?
Now the next one. So, let's call this lever 1, the one on the far left. The one in the middle is 2, and the one on the far right is 3. So, the 2 right now is in the upright position.
Okay.
Number 1, I'm going to put in the downright position.
Gotcha.
Alright. And if you allow me to do another lever, I'm going to...
Yeah, you can continue to manipulate the levers. Each time you move a lever, it clicks into place.
And now the left one I'm going to go... Or at 3, I'm going to put left.
Okay. Nothing
that means
happens.
It's going to be... I look around the room for any kind of like hint. Maybe someone else has been here before and figured out the riddle.
Make a perception check. You can see above you. You can see a ceiling.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to look for any other contraptions. Is it just a lever? Is there a button? Maybe like a big red button that's in the shape of a skull?
No, it seems like these 3 levers are it's like a series of 3 plus signs in a row. This metal plate that each of these levers are in the middle of each plus sign in a row. 1, 2, 3. And let's go back to the corridor and see what they're doing.
They're crying.
They're crying? Zito's continuing to cry. What about you, Eli?
Eli's very confused.
Okay.
But he's making a choice. He's contemplating. What is Ari doing?
Ari is trying to decide what to do.
Well, if Ender hasn't come in there or come back out yet, maybe we have to go in and get.
Maybe.
Or maybe
Zito's gonna
Ender's fine.
climb out of his sack.
Okay. You see a very confused-looking Owry near the sculpture, the relief on the back wall. You see Eli just sort of quizzically scratching his chin and just sort of gazing about the corridor.
The statue is talking. You don't hear it?
I don't know what you're talking about, Ari.
It's talking. It's talking to me.
Zito's gonna study this statue,
Okay.
see what he can make out of it.
It looks like a green. The mosaic of tiles appear to be of a green, like glass surface on the tiles. And what are you? You're just doing a straight investigation?
Yes.
Okay. Make an investigation check. And what are you doing, Eli? While Zito approaches and begins to investigate.
Well, Ari, let's go.
You mean
Let's go through the mist.
where?
Let's go through the mist.
Zito,
Anywhere.
as you get closer to the mouth, you are now hearing a voice that you haven't heard in a while. Zito! Hey, brother! Come on in! It sounds like the voice of an old companion that you haven't heard in a long time. It sounds like the voice of Samael the Reaper.
What? Samael? Zito's gonna get closer and call out Samael? What are you doing?
Yeah, brother! Come on in!
This is insane.
You hear it talking too.
Yeah, but I don't think you would know Samael, though.
That doesn't sound familiar, no.
Meanwhile,
Where's
back
this
in the
voice coming from?
Oh, sorry. It appears to be coming from everywhere. Appears to be coming from the mouth and also seems to be echoing in your mind.
Alright, I'll let you get back to Ender now.
Okay. Ender, so what are you doing now? You've been trying
All the levers
handles-
up, down, left, right, all of them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm looking around that room.
You're moving all of the levers up?
No, I'm not. No.
Up, down, left, right? A, B, A, B, start?
It's up, down, left, right.
Yes.
B, A, B, A.
B, A, B, A.
Oh my god.
Okay, anyways. I would like to look around the room again and see if I maybe can perceive a little better.
Okay. Make another perception check. Yeah, there's a ceiling up there. But you can make out what appears to be seams at near the ceiling. A square-shaped seam all the way around.
A square-shaped seam?
Yep. Looks to be about 5 feet by 5 feet. Dead center above you. And looking down, you can see a similar seam 10 foot by 10 foot on the floor.
I don't see any symbols or anything that'll help me with this riddle.
Unfortunately, no.
I turn around
do
and I
see-
go to leave.
You do see scratches on the walls, though, that appear to have been made by fingernails.
Interesting.
And they're all over the walls, all around you.
What a miserable cubicle.
And you get a sense, you get a smell of just a rancorous odor of some sort. But you can't really tell what direction it's coming from. It just seems to permeate this whole chamber.
I can't leave, can I?
You don't see a point of egress anywhere in this chamber, unfortunately.
Alright. I'm gonna keep...
And as you sit there and
investigating
contemplate for a
the room.
while, you start to hear a voice. That is what you hear. Back in the corridor. What are you guys doing in the corridor?
Hey, let's just go. This one, we're Ender. Let's just go find Ender. Alright.
If we go, we have to all go together.
Alright, let's go through this one. This side.
Alright, so I'm gonna help Zito up on my shoulder if he'll go, and then hold Eli's hand so that we're together
Okay.
while going through.
All right. So you're all three going through.
Yeah.
If Zito will let me put
Okay.
him up there, yeah.
You hear one more thing before you pass through the archway. Auri. As you step through the mist with Eli and Zito, one by one or side by side, the sound of this familiar voice fills your head, echoing. And you, all three, are suddenly in a 10-foot wide by 10-foot cubicle with Ender. Your companions suddenly fall on you, Ender.
All of them?
All of them.
There's no space for you all. There's no way out. There's just these three levers in front of me. They go up, down, left, and right. BA, BA, select, start.
I look up. Is there anything up?
Yeah, you see a ceiling.
Yeah, that's the DM. He's a dick.
Well, put all the levers down. Oh, hold on. I want to see if I see anything on
See if you see anything on what?
the wall.
Okay, make a perception check. Auri, as you're looking around, you can see that Ender is sweating profusely, with your light illuminating this entire chamber. Those are some walls, man.
We're fucked!
Do I see anything writing? I'm gonna investigate.
Well, let's let somebody else look since you already went.
Zito's gonna study the three levers in the middle of the room.
Okay. How would you like to study them?
You play around with them.
Okay. How would you like to play around with them? They appear to move up, down, left, and right in a row. There's some sort of plate, which is set up like a plus sign that's been stamped 3 times in a row. 1, 2, 3. And each of the levers is dead center in the middle of this cross plus pattern. As if these levers can be moved up and down together or singly.
What if we all move these levers at the same time? Alright, can you help me move these
Okay.
levers?
Sure.
Okay.
You two under.
Okay.
Alright, what if we all move them to the bottom at the same time?
All right. Count of 3.
Count of 3.
Who's moving them
One.
down? Or are you doing
All
it
3 of
together?
us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3.
1, 2,
Wait,
3.
wait.
Okay.
Wait.
1,
Wait,
2,
wait,
3. He
wait.
pushes them down, and you all hear a mechanical clink noise, and the floor suddenly gives, and you are all falling.
But not me, because I said
Yep.
no way. Right?
And you
I'm gonna
fall.
cast Feather Fall.
Okay. You're gonna cast it on yourself?
And all of us.
Oh. Do you have enough spell slots for that? I think you've
One spell
cast.
slot covers up to 6 people.
How many spell slots do you have left? Let's say Zito.
A lot.
Because you've used it how many times? 3 times?
3.
This would be my
No,
third
twice.
time.
Yeah, you've used it twice. So that would be your last spell slot, I think. Or am I wrong?
This is great. Now we'll just be slowly falling
No,
into
I have
nothing.
I have one first level spell slot left, and I can cast all the way up to 5th level.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeremy. What are you gonna do now, huh?
No, stop that! Don't antagonize him! Jesus. Jarek, no.
I think we might have chosen the wrong option.
I'm looking for your feather fall spell. I don't see it on your sheet.
It's at the first level wizard spell, at the very bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they separate
there it is. There it is.
artificer and wizard.
No worries. Okay, so yeah. How does that work? Like the feather fall? Like how does it slow you down?
It slows you down, so we move towards the ground at 60 feet per round, and we don't take any fall damage.
Okay. So after about
Including
12
spike damage.
after about 12 seconds, roughly, close, about counting it off in your head, as you're trying to determine how deep this thing is, you reach the bottom of this pit with your companions as you all touch down 100 feet below the levers. What would you all like to
Well,
do?
something happened.
Where are we?
You are
Yeah.
currently 100 feet below those levers at the bottom of a pit. And looking around you, you see piles of bones. Some of them a bit fresher than others.
I guess we start climbing up. 100 feet. That's not so bad. I'll check my back to see if I have anything that'll make the climb easier.
Well, if you have a explorer, if you have a Dungeoneer's kit, I believe you have come with 10 pythons.
That's what I'd like to use. I'd like to use those pythons. What are
Okay.
pythons?
Well, you all have rope in your packs. Pythons are like little, they sort of resemble like a railroad spike.
Ah, I see.
So you would hammer it into a surface, attempt to hammer it into a surface and climb up.
Kind of like an anchor?
Kind of.
Okay. It's 100 feet down, so...
Correct.
Ari, can you fly?
Hold on. I was literally looking into seeing if that my flying form is too big for me to turn into it in here. Give me just a second.
Well, the space that you're in currently would be considered one size larger than medium. So it's considered a large size.
Okay, then yeah, I'm going to turn into a giant eagle.
Okay.
What color are you?
White.
You're
Unfortunately,
a giant
Auri,
white eagle.
you'll be. It's a bit of a cluster, but you are currently standing on top of your friends as they lie prone, trying to give you space to turn into your form.
Turn into a spider or something that can climb, not fly.
And I will throw your token on you. Suddenly, Auri is a giant eagle. Boom.
Alright, I'm gonna hover up higher than them so that I am not stepping on them.
Okay. It's a tight fit, but you're able to flap your wings. And as you do, the bone dust just sort of wafts up and swirls around the three of you, momentarily causing you all to choke and convulse as this horrible bone dust and matter fills your lungs temporarily.
Zito retreats back into his bag.
Okay.
Okay, but I can't fly upward because it's too small in here.
It's a tight fit, but you could fly up. It's this narrow tunnel is just wide enough that you can. The tips of your feathers are brushing the edges of the walls as you flap your wings.
Okay,
Your friends continuing to cover their mouths and not breathe in the bone matter.
I'm gonna fly up and see if there's like a place where I would be able to like carry them up to and put them down at. Like,
Give us a
scout
rope.
up.
Give you a rope. You've put it in your talent.
So you fly up. You eventually get up to the top of this long, deep trench. This long, deep pit, and you can now see. Do eagles have dark vision?
Great question. Hold on one second.
I'm not entirely certain if they do. I would imagine they would be as a bird of prey. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and rule that you can see. You can see as you get to the top. You can see those levers.
Yeah, it has keen sight, but it does not say dark vision.
Okay. Then yeah, you can just barely make out. It's pitch black. You can't see anything in your bird form, unfortunately. Because
Okay,
I don't think you retain your dark vision in your bird form.
Is there something for me that I'd be able to like put them on so that they can like stand up there? Be okay.
You don't see anything. All you see is the two identical trapdoors that split in the middle that drop down. And you can hear in your eagle form, you can very, very much so hear the sound of a rhythmic ticking, as if something is winding up or winding down.
Okay. Knowing that I'm not smart enough to figure out this puzzle alone, I'm gonna go back down and pick up Zito
Okay.
to let him look at the levers again. Like,
Okay.
I guess I'll just try and hover while he looks at them.
As you bring him up to the top, Zito, you also hear the rhythmic ticking noise.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Zito tries to find out where that ticking's coming from.
Okay. It sounds like it's coming out of the walls near where the floor was, where those plates are currently dangling on their mechanism that are currently holding them down.
Alright. Well,
About how much time do you, Auri and Zito spend up there?
And how long does it take to fly up there?
Well, it's 100 feet.
No
so,
longer.
and
Oh, it's
she's
100 feet.
Yeah, it's 100 feet. So she's an eagle, and her eagle form. I'm not sure what her movement is. Probably 40. So she
when
could.
I'm flying, it's 80.
So yeah, she could very easily get up and down from the top and the bottom in the matter of no time.
Alright, so I would say that Zito would examine the plates for about a minute and see what's going on.
Okay. As you continue to look and stare at the plates dangling in the claws, Eli and Ender, what are you two doing?
I think we're cuddling at the bottom.
Should have gave her a rope. She's kind of like left us down here. If they hit those levers and trap us down here, there's one way to go.
Zito, within a minute, you notice that on both sides that those plates have begun to raise up from the wall, as if they are coming back to a resting position to create the floor again.
Uh-oh. Zito tries to stick something in between the jams to stop him.
Okay. What are you trying to do with?
What'd you say?
What are you trying to use to jam it?
A dagger.
A dagger? Okay. You stick a dagger into the... make an intelligence check.
Is that coming up on the feed?
I'm not seeing anything right now. Actually, it doesn't even look like you're connected.
Well, can you roll for me then, Jeremy?
Sure, I can do that. Okay. You're fairly certain that if you jammed your dagger in, you could probably prop the one side of this for at least a brief moment of time before the tension forced your dagger out. You're not entirely certain if you could use your dagger to permanently affix one of these plates down.
Do you think I can do that and then disarm it some other way with actual thieves' tools?
I would say that you would, with your knowledge of tinkering and your thieves' tools, you're fairly certain that you could probably affix one of these plates and disable it.
Alright, I'll do that.
Okay. So you want to roll a thieves' tools check?
Yes, and I get double proficiency from my artificer skill.
Okay. Ooh, nice. That's a... That's a 30. So you're able to reach out with your thieves' tools and you slide one of the tools into where the base of the plate meets the wall, and you hear a loud spring noise, as in you hear a spring break, and the ticking on that side stops, and the plate is now affixed permanent, from what you can tell, permanently in a downward position. You can hear the ticking coming from the other one, which is continuing to raise up slowly.
Well, since they already have one, Zito's not going to bother with the other.
Okay.
And he's going to go and check out the levers again.
Okay. Meanwhile, down in the Snugglefest, Eli and Ender, you're both starting to hear that strange whispering again. And you are now hearing the familiar voice of your companions back on the New Horizon. Eli, you hear the sound of Lefana Aisha saying, "Oh, you know they're going to leave, you know." And Ender, you hear the sound of Gunthral saying, "It's a shame we didn't get to snuggle again. I quite liked it. Too bad you're stuck down here."
You hearing a voice too, Eli?
Yeah. Too bad, we're gonna die down here.
Is your man or woman?
Oh, mine's a woman. Is yours a man or a woman?
You got luckier.
Who's yours?
I will not say.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I need to know before we're gonna die down here. Might as well just share.
No.
No, it's
No,
just between us.
Okay. I'm okay dying with the secrets.
But me and you, there's no way out. And,
We're like sitting. I'm guessing we're like sitting, or this is what a lot of people's quarantine is like. Actually,
me and her are sitting there cuddling down in the dark hole. Come on, we're just. You saw them. Didn't you hear the? We're stuck down here.
yeah, and the Bucks just got Brady too.
Yeah. Oh man. So I'm just telling you, we can have secret. You know, the secrets will just die with you, and we might as well just share it with your best friend, right?
Shut up, Eli. Who did you hear?
You first.
All right.
Meanwhile,
Perfect.
Meanwhile, up at the top of the deep pit, near the levers, you've been continuing to study these levers, Zito, still in the clutches of your companion. How much time do you spend studying them?
The levers?
Yes.
Not that long, since there's not really that much to go off of this, is there? Other than the pluses?
No. You just know it. They just appear to be able to be moved either together or by themselves, in any direction, up, down, left, right. And you, of course, know that when you pressed all three down, the pit opened up and dropped all of you nearly to your deaths.
Alright, well, Ari, hold on. And Zito's gonna try and push all three of the levers up at the same time.
Okay. With your tiny kobold hands reaching out and touching, you're able to push all the levers up at the same time. And as you do, you suddenly hear the sound of stone grinding on stone. And as you look up, you see a 5 foot by 5 foot hatch, which slides open in the ceiling above you.
Does something come down?
No. And it's pitch black. All you can make out with your dark vision is that there appears to be a room above. You can see a ceiling.
Okay. Now that we know how to get out of here, we need to figure out how to get everyone else out.
Down in the pit. Ender has just finished explaining to Eli his experience and graphic detail.
Wow.
And that's the third time I got crabs.
Yeah, I didn't know you and Gutty really were together. Well, I was just kidding about dying. I grab him. I cast Dimension Door.
Where are you dimension dooring to?
To the room. Back to the room.
Back to the room? What room?
The one above, right, 100 feet above.
Oh, you mean
like,
the one? You mean the one that is occupied by Zito and your eagle form Auri?
With the levers. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you cast the dimension door, and the two of you begin to pass through it, if Ender is willing. As you pass out,
I stop Eli and I say, "Wait, there's not room for us up there yet. She's still a bird. Won't we just end up on top of?"
Good.
Well, it's a 10 foot by 10 foot. Yeah. There's really no room for you.
There's no room for us up there yet.
You just see through the door. You can hear flapping.
Can they hear us?
And you can
Is
see
there-
Zito.
Floor there, though? I thought there wasn't a floor underneath us again. So.
There's half a floor.
There's half a floor? Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Is there
I
space for us
fixed
to
it.
move
It's
through
a
that door?
it's a 10-foot by 5-foot space. So
All right.
two medium-sized creatures could occupy that space.
Okay, we're gonna go through then. Sorry for the false alarm, guys. I just
Okay.
didn't want. The last thing I wanted was us to, like, end up on top of Ari while we're all plummeting
all
back
fall,
down.
yeah.
You step through, and the force of the arcane dimension door pushes Auri back a bit, and she bumps her little birdie head on the ceiling a little bit, and bonks her head a little bit. It doesn't hurt. It's just annoying. And you're now standing, looking up. You can see a 5-foot by 5-foot hatch has opened up, revealing a dark chamber above you.
Let's go.
I'm gonna lift Zito up towards the hatch,
Okay.
and then
It's
I'm
very,
going to-
very difficult because you're using your feet. So let's make a performance check to see how well you're able to scoop him and shot put him through that hole.
I want to be on the ready in case this goes bad.
Pretty
You
good,
all
though.
you all watch as like a disc thrower with one claw, Auri just sort of uppercuts Zito up through the hole, and he flies up through the hole and is now within a chamber.
I'm sorry, Zito. I thought you were on my back, but that's way funnier.
I knew it would come to this.
Eli turns to Ender and was like, "Man, Ari's pretty good with it." Oh, but that's right. You're in.
We're going up there next.
Okay.
Okay. Once they've cleared out, I'm gonna try and back myself up as much as I can on that perch, and then go out of wild shape so that I can climb up too.
Okay. I would say that they could very easily drop a rope down to you to allow you to pull yourself up after I'm assuming Zito has thrown a rope down for his companions to climb up.
Okay, perfect. I won't take up all of the space anymore. Sorry.
Zito, make a strength check.
Haha, very funny.
Oh no, I'm not kidding.
You
Oh.
might still have to roll it for me, Jeremy.
he looks at Zito. Who's going up the rope first?
Yeah, who's going up the rope first?
Well, you're lighter than Ender.
Yeah. I look up there. Hey, Zito, and I'll cast Misty Step.
Okay.
And appear at the top like.
Zito suddenly right next to you, nearly falling back through the hole because he couldn't really see very well where he was going. Eli is now standing next to you.
Look at when I
Ender,
have the two weakest party members.
Ender, you
to
are
hold
now.
the rope.
There's a rope dangling down. What would you like to do? Would you
Oh,
like
come
to
on.
ascend?
What would I like to do? Of course I'm going to ascend. I'm not going to go
All right.
back in the pit.
Who would like to roll a strength check with advantage since the two of you are helping each other?
Do you want me
The
to?
two weakest characters. I guess since he can't really roll, I'll
Hang on,
roll.
is there something that we can tie the rope to first?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Um,
Good thinking, Zito.
Looking around this chamber, you see 3 chests. They're large and they seem to be spaced out on the floor of this chamber, this 30-foot by 30-foot chamber.
Do they look heavy enough to hold Ender?
They seem to each be made of a different material. One looks to be made of gold, one looks to be made of silver, and one looks to be made of oak.
Alright, Zito's gonna wrap the rope around the gold chest.
Okay. Make
He's-
a survival check. Let's see how well. Let me roll a survival check. See how well you're able to tie this knot.
Can I help him?
Sure, why not?
Oh, I read in some book, a long time ago that that's how you tie a rope around a tree.
Oh, you read that book too?
Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
Let's
Zito
go.
rolled. Zito ties the most beautiful knot you've ever seen, Eli.
Man, I don't even think I could do that from memory.
And I will say, for all intents and purposes, you're able to, with your very, very nice rope trick, you're able to get your friends up out of that place. And you're all now standing within this 30-foot by 30-foot chamber.
Zito's then gonna take a light tug on the rope, and it's just gonna come undone.
Okay.
Very impressive. You gotta show me that sometime.
And Auri, you said that you are no longer an eagle?
Yeah, I'm back to half-elf girl.
Okay. Whoops, I'm not sure why I turned Zito into Auri. I apologize, Zito. Okay. And I will share a map with you all.
Every so often, Eli turns to Ender and I giggles.
Ender is not flustered. You know, in my land, it's not unusual for a man to love another man. And I'm going to, nudge you. And then I'm going to laugh.
What's this about men loving men? Also, I was gonna come back down and get you guys. You didn't have to drop a door on my head.
Felt like there was a coronavirus down there when he flapped up all that dust.
Yeah, I
Yes.
guess I didn't think about all the dust that would be flying around, sorry.
All those diseases that I had to breathe in. Ah.
Well, when we get back to Gunny, I'm sure he can take care of you.
Sneeze
sure
into
he
your
would.
elbow.
Glancing around the chamber, all you see are these 3 chests.
Well, I see these 3 different chests. Any idea what they mean, guys?
That they're trapped.
Yeah, I don't know if we should touch any of them.
Can I look around the room for any clues?
You can make a perception check if you like.
We really haven't had the best track record with chests.
No, we really haven't. Yeah. I don't know.
Glancing around the room, Eli, looking to the north, you can see a 3-foot wide square in the wall. It was almost imperceptible until you noticed the slight discoloration of this square, different from the wall around you.
Eli points at the square. Hey, look at that.
What?
It's a different color than the rest.
It looks the same to me.
As you pointed out, the chests start to rattle and shake. And all 3 of you are now hearing the sounds of your friends from the ship. And individuals that you have not seen. And voices that sound familiar but you can't quite place. And they're all taunting you. Whispering to you horrible things. And you can hear the sound of strange bugs, like cicadas in your ears, echoing throughout this chamber.
God, could someone please stop all the noise?
Unfortunately, I don't have the spell for that.
Cover your ears.
So loud.
And then, Eli, you hear the voice of Lithana whispering to you from the chest in the center saying, "Hey, Eli, You gonna show me the captain's quarters?
He'll walk over to it. Oh yeah, and he'll open a gold chest or try
Okay.
to.
It is not unlocked. It's not locked. It shakes as you get closer to it. It suddenly pops open as you reach for it, and a zombified Lithana Aisha begins crawling out with a rictus grin on her face. One of her eyes is out of its socket, drooping on her chin. Her skin has a cheesecloth texture to it, and you can just see her skin is dry like rice paper, cracking in places, revealing the decay underneath. And on her breath as she yells out to you, "Lover!" and reaches for you with her gnarled hands and broken fingers. And let us roll initiative.
Didn't you hear that? She said lover. Yeah.
I think my game just did something crazy. I like threw the die and then it like rolled and then everything.
Yeah, every time I hit the NPC button, it freezes Fantasy Grounds.
Did my roll go through? Or no?
Did mine?
I don't think any of them went through. It just froze up Fantasy Grounds. This might be the end, guys.
No.
No. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I will say, for
I'll
all intents and purposes, instead of rolling initiative, this image, as it rushes towards you, Eli, it passes through your body and evaporates into a cloud of dust.
She got in there, all right.
And you can smell Lithana. You've been around her long enough to know her scent.
She smells like Cheetos.
And there's another scent. Can't quite place it. It's something else. And what would you all like to do? The two other chests are rattling. You're still hearing the taunts coming from them.
Zito would like to find a way to lock those chests.
Okay. Would you like to tinker with them with your thieves' tools?
Sure, I'll tinker with them, make them jam shut. How about that?
Okay. The first one that you get close to pops open, and you see the decapitated, disembodied head of Samael the Reaper. And he says, "Hey, what's up, Zito?" And then it vanishes. And then the chest, it stays open, wide open, empty.
Well,
Alright, new plan. We just walk away from the third one.
Okay. The one that
Is there a way
Ender
out
has been
there?
sitting on? Well, Eli pointed out the little 3 foot by 3 foot square that was a bit different color than everything else.
oh my god. The initiative all came through now.
Oh.
And for some reason, Eli's dead.
Oh, the-
Actually, no, 35 damage to me. Why? What
Why?
the fuck, dude? Why'd you do this? Why?
He said it froze, so I'm like, oh, what? And nothing worked, and then all of a sudden, like
And it
40
all came
initiatives went through.
How'd you die?
He's not dead. I don't know why it said death. That's weird.
Oh, because I rolled a death save. I was just testing all the dice
okay.
on my thing and seeing if it would roll. And
Gotcha.
none of them rolled, and they all came.
Oh,
That's funny. So it's okay. It's caught back up.
okay. So you have, other than the chests, which have revealed horrible things to you all, you have that strange, discolored 3 foot wide square.
Zito's gonna check for traps.
Okay. As soon as Fantasy Grounds stops loading, we'll see what Zito sees. And you rolled an 11. Don't notice anything out of the ordinary, other than this strange plug in the wall on the what you assume is the northern wall of this chamber.
I keep it there. Don't touch it.
Okay.
Don't touch anything. Is Zito able to go through that hole?
Well, it's not a hole; it's a plug. Did you want to do something with it?
Is a plug.
Yeah, it's just
I thought there was something else.
it's like a section of the wall that's like a 3 foot by 3 foot square that's a different color than the rest of the walls. Just slightly.
Alright then, yeah, Zito would try to unplug it.
Okay. Make a strength check. With advantage if one of your companions helps.
I will help.
You'll help him?
Yeah, of course. Well,
Okay.
I'm sitting here playing guitar while I'm listening to you guys. Sorry.
No worries. Would you like to roll the strength check with advantage, Ender? From your
Or would you
kobold
like me
friend?
to?
Or would you
Yes.
like to sit there and giggle and watch as he tries to do it?
I will.
Okay. Ender, you're able to push it forth, revealing
If you say gunny, I swear to God.
a tunnel, a 3 foot wide tunnel.
Oh.
And if you'll notice, I just revealed a secret door for you guys. Notice me opening it and closing it?
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
Also, this whole room was secret.
this whole room that we found?
Yeah.
Well, that Zito found?
Alright, what map is this one?
Map 5. Here, I'll share it again for all of you.
Alright, well, since Zito is small enough to enter,
It's a tight fit for Ender, and pretty much everyone else can squeeze through. It's difficult, but you are able to do so.
Zito's going to lead the way this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna be pretty close to him. So I'll be right behind him.
All right. Go ahead and move yourself into the tunnel if you like. If it'll let you. Does it let
I
you?
don't think it will.
I have an idea.
There we go.
Ah! No, I don't like it. It's too big.
Zito, as you get to the end, you see a blank wall.
Who made me small? Who did this to me?
Are there any other patches or plugs on the side of the wall?
Can't get in there.
No, but where the wall terminates is a smoother material than the rough-hewn wall around you.
Alright, Zito will try and push on the wall.
Okay.
Will it budge?
As you push on it, your hand goes through it. It tears almost like paper mache. And you realize suddenly that this appears to be a thin bit of plaster concealing this entrance into this tunnel that led to that chamber. What's fun is that Zito can see this, but you guys won't see it until you go into that hallway. Zito, you find yourself emerging into a long hallway. And the floor is laid with those same tiles. Are you guys able to get through there or no?
No.
No, we're not.
Okay, there you go. I'll one by one move you guys into it. There you go. Bam.
Thank you.
But notice how it reveals the corridor as you pass through.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I just love how you don't see it until you're in there.
Yeah, I like that too.
So as you head into this corridor, this long unlit corridor, you can just see the floor is made of the inlaid tiles, the same tiles, the mosaic that you saw in that corridor that you were in before. And you can see the walls and the ceilings are painted with figures of animals, with strange signs and glyphs. And humans and human-like creatures posing with spheres of different colors. And the globes are two-dimensional. Even though they look like they're three-dimensional, those are on the walls as two-dimensional shapes. In fact, one of them appears to be what you just crawled through. And you can see to the north a couple of doors set into the wall. And at the south, you see another archway filled with vapors. And the archway appears to have a similar set of capstones. The top, the left, and the right. The left-hand side base stone and the right-hand side base stone, with the keystone 7 feet above the floor.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I might not be able to play for much longer.
No worries. We're going to come to an end here shortly.
Okay.
We'll just see what...
I don't want to end it yet, but I might have to go soon.
No
I
worries.
kind of want to see where this all ends up in.
I've been going like longer than I normally do, but...
No worries. I think all of you guys have been. So I'll tell you what. All four of you each get one action. So going down the line first, we'll start with Eli. What do you do, Eli?
I'm gonna look around.
Okay. You see the doors, a series of 2 doors on the western wall ahead of you. You see to the south that archway, very familiar, almost identical to the archway that you all passed through that led to that chamber, filled with the very similar vapor that obscures whatever is beyond it. And you can see orbs of different colors that are spread throughout, and they see each one seems of a different color seems to be held. They've been painted as if they're being held or being revered by different human-animal hybrids. Is that all you wish to do on your turn, is look around the chamber?
Animal hybrids. Which one? Which one am I closest to? What are these?
The one that's directly in front of you, it's a bright blue color. Or excuse me. It is currently at the feet of some sort of strange animal-human hybrid. It's like
what kind of animal?
Resting on its feet. It looks like a mix between a donkey and a human.
What about this one right here below me?
Well, that would be your action.
Oh, okay.
You begin to investigate the chamber. We're trying to come to an end. So going down the line, Ender, what are you doing?
Animal hybrid?
Yeah.
Where is he?
All over the walls. Each of these spheres that are painted on the walls, these 2-dimensional paintings, seem to be some sort of a mix of humans and human-like creatures that are posing with the spheres.
I look around and I see if there's anything that I can grab.
You see
like
that
a rock, a pebble, or anything?
Doesn't seem to be anything loose on the ground or around you.
A loose tile?
You do see that the series of doors at the western wall north of you appear to have like your standard O-ring pulls, like handles on them, each of them.
I'm gonna go open the door.
Which one? That one? Okay. As you begin to open the door, you fling the door open. A spear shoots out from a mechanism behind it, this solid wall behind the door.
I cut it in half.
Impacts you in the chest.
It misses.
We'll see if it misses you. How about that?
How about that? I don't like it. I don't like traps. Jeremy, don't do me like this. All right. Let's see.
It misses you. The spear shoots out and skates over your face, nearly taking your ear off as it sticks into the wall behind you.
Nope, that's not how it happens. There's way more flavor to it than that. Basically, what I did was I grabbed it. I just, as it lunged out, I just grabbed it, and I looked at the tip of the arrow, and I yelled at it, and I threw it down.
Ender, Captain America Nobad style, grabs the spear in midair.
Yes.
And that's your turn. Zito, what are you doing?
Zito's inspecting the orbs on the walls and see if they lead to any more secret passageways.
Okay. The one that you're standing next to right now appears to be indigo colored, and it's held high overhead by a creature with an eagle head.
And Zito's gonna poke the orb and see if it's also made of paper mache.
It is not. It is a solid stone. It's a solid wall, solid stone.
Alright. That was Zito's turn.
Okay. And Auri, what would you like to do on your turn? Looking around, you just watched Ender open a door and then snatch a spear out of the air that was heading straight for his chest. Both Eli and Ender appear to be preoccupied looking at the mosaics and looking at the walls. You can see to the north another door, not too far away from Ender, about 20 feet, and to the south, an identical archway filled with mist.
Well, I'm gonna go inspect the archway again.
You're gonna step through the archway?
I'm not gonna step through, but I'm gonna just kind of see what I can figure out from it from peering inside.
Okay. As you get closer to it, you can see it's very similar. If you get within touch distance, the left-hand base stone is shining an olive hue. The one on the right is glowing a citron color. And the keystone, 7 feet above you, is glowing a russet color.
I walk away. Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen? I'll go inside.
You go inside?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Auri steps through the mist and is gone. And Auri, you find yourself standing in the dark in that familiar hallway where you and your companions began. You hear the whispers. Looking ahead with your dark vision, you can just make out that sculptured relief of that devil face. And one other thing. Everything you own is gone. The pack you were carrying that wasn't yours, but you carried it nonetheless. Any materials, components, everything but your skivvies. You're reduced down to the underwear that you wear underneath your clothing. And you can feel the chill in this dank corridor. And you are all alone.
I'm naked and alone.
And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
That's funny. That's the same way I end at night.
Dream.
That's my chance to attack.
Popcorn.
It's Wopcorn?
That sounds racist.
Have you ever heard of Whopcorn? That's where you take popcorn and Whoppers and you throw them in a box and shake them together.
Is that good?
Yeah.